Hello and welcome. This talk is on Christianity, and I wanted to talk about something that no Christian I know of really talks about. And that is that Jesus didn't want Gentiles to be Christians. In order to understand anything, you need to know what is someone saying, to whom, and why. Most things in philosophy are constructed as a response to some earlier thinker. So the philosophy of Aristotle is a rebuttal to Plato. And this happens repeatedly in philosophy. Almost everything is built on or as a response. So to understand Jesus, you have to understand the Jews. The Jews basically say that the Jews are God's gift to the world, and the Gentiles are garbage. They are the enemy. And what does Jesus say? His idea is love your enemy, basically love the Gentiles, and hate the tribe. He's going to bring division to the Jews, pit son against father, daughter against mother, and tear the tribe to pieces. That's his message to the Jews. And that's really the essence of Christianity. The problem is that people interpret his message to be universal towards all people, that everyone should go after their parents, everyone should love their enemy. And this is not an accurate interpretation of the words of Jesus. This is something that every church in the Western world, every Catholic, every Protestant group falls into. That Christianity is for the Gentiles. It's not at all. So let's go over that. If you remember the Sermon on the Mount, that there's a good example of this in Matthew. So you go up to Sermon on the Mount, and just before that, Jesus goes from synagogue to synagogue to get people to listen to him on the Sermon on the Mount. Now he's not going from Greek temple to Greek temple, or sporting event to sporting event, or bowling alley to bowling alley, or Roman legion to Roman legion. He's going from synagogue to synagogue, which means he is going after the Jews. He wants the Jews to listen to him. He's rounding them up, saying, come to this hill, I'm going to talk tomorrow. So that's a very definitive proof of who his audience he is and who he intends to talk to. So we have a sense of intent. What is his audience? Who does he want to talk to? And of course he tells these people who think they're the chosen that they're not the first. The first shall be last. And that the rich shall be last, not these. So the poor will be first, and so on. He just tells them the exact opposite of what they want to hear. Now in Acts, Jesus is already dead, and Peter ends up pouring water to baptize Gentiles, and the Jews there, the circumcised ones, are astounded. Again, this is more textual proof that those Jews assumed that Christianity was a club for Jews, and that these Gentiles weren't part of the club. And they must have assumed that based on the previous practices that were going on, that how did Jesus actually do things? And it was basically a Jews-only club. So they would be astounded that Peter was pouring water to let these Gentiles in. And this is where Christianity goes off the rails into what you could call Peterism, or Petrinism, or Petrolism, however you want to put it. But it goes in the opposite direction. Whereas Jesus was focused on the Jews, convert these Jews to Christianity, tell them to break their religion, hate their tribe, and love the enemy, love the Gentiles. It redirects itself towards the Gentiles and says, you Gentiles love your enemies, and you are supposed to hate your own kind. And this is what got imported into Europe, and this is where Europe is today, that they're supposed to love the whole wide world, let their society get overrun by their enemies, including the Muslims, and they can't do anything about it. Even the Pope says we're supposed to keep the border open and not do anything. Well, this is all wrong. If you're saying this is the Christian thing to do, it's not. It's Peterism, and Peter is the Antichrist. The word is the words of Jesus and his intention, and then what goes against that word would be the anti-word. And so Peter represents the anti-word, and Paul, and they started to spread this insanity towards the Christian, or towards the Gentiles. And this is why we should understand that Christianity is not meant for us. It's not meant for Gentiles. It's meant for the Jews. It's meant to break them down. It is Islam is a two-faced religion. It has one message for the Western world, and another face for Islam. The Western world Islam is a religion of peace, and then towards the other Muslims, they say, hey, we're gonna Islamize these people and make them our slaves. We're gonna take over their society and put them under Sharia law. So it's a two-faced religion, and Judaism is a two-faced religion. It says we're Jews, and the Gentiles are the enemy, are the slaves, are to be the slaves for the Jews. And Jesus addresses that with a two-faced response. Hey, love your enemy and destroy the tribe. And this is what flies over the head of all Gentiles practically, that they didn't pick this up and realize it. So be a street smart Christian and say the Jews should love their enemies, but you get to protect your own kind and protect your borders and protect your society from invasion and domination by the Jews and by the Muslims. That's what this is what you would call street smart Christianity, and it's a small element really in a larger culture that you should have of your own indigenous culture. So what should you learn from Christianity? Never be at the mercy of the Jews. You'll end up like Jesus on the cross, and the Jews should love their enemies, not you loving the Jews or your enemies. Your enemies are out to kill you, so don't bother with them. Alright, so if you're into the Christianity thing, check if I'm correct, and I think you'll end up seeing things more my way than look at things from a street smart perspective.